What's going on, guys, and welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where every single week I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original programming that I watch on the WWE Network as well as on the USA Network, because today we're talking Season 1, Episode 4 of Miz and Mrs., of course, airing after SmackDown on Tuesday nights. Just barely catching up on the show this week. Another enjoyable episode that featured the birth of their baby girl, whose name we know now, of course, but they don't reveal until the end of the episode, so I'll save it till then. But we kick off this episode with Miz buying a GoPro, like 4 or 5 different cameras, all attached to his body, one including a shot of his own face, and then outward, and all these other fucking self-controlled cameras that he's going to use for when the baby is born. He wants to capture his own reaction. I mean, your first baby's only born once, obviously, and he will never see his own reaction unless he films it. So I don't know if he ended up filming it or not. Maurice obviously denies that idea right out of the gate, as does Maurice's mom, Marjo. So they're like, no, that's a dumb idea. You're not doing that. I don't want to be fucking filmed while I'm giving birth. That is ridiculous. But Miz sticks on that idea for the rest of the episode, by the way. So anyway, Maurice, on the other hand, does not want Marjo, her mom, in the delivery room while she's giving birth. She wants to keep it special and only really have Miz there, only have her husband there. So her and Miz talk it over. And Miz is like, have you asked her yet? And Maurice is like, no, I have not. I will talk to Marjo before long and, kind of let her know what's going on. So anyway, Miz goes to film a pump-up piece for the Cleveland Sports. I don't know if it's for the Cavaliers or who it was for, but he did some sort of like motivational video, like getting them in a team spirit. I remember watching that. It was filmed and recorded right before WrestleMania. That was from a few months ago. He recognizes that he's had a great year in WWE and that he feels like he's finally getting the respect that he deserves. Does a lot of media leading up to Raw that night in Cleveland with his dad. His dad also joins him on several radio shows. And when asked who his favorite wrestler is, Miz's dad, George, says The Rock. I mean, this is nothing new. We've known that for years now, but it's just funny to hear it reiterated here on the show that Miz's dad, his own favorite wrestler, is not his own son, but rather The Rock, which I thought was great. I mean, The Rock's awesome, don't get me wrong, but that's not Miz's dad's son. It's The Miz, so that's the best part about it. Anyway, Marjo asks Maurice when the baby is going to be born, because she wants to be there for when it's born. And she's like, oh, on the 30th, blah, blah, blah. And Maurice is like, yeah, like, wouldn't it be cool if it was only me and Miz and not really you? And then Marjo's like, nope, absolutely not. I have to be there for when it's born. Maurice is like, okay, this is awkward. So anyway, Miz goes to Raw, finds his face on the wall of the Q Arena, I think it's what it's called, in Cleveland. So apparently he's been a big enough name now, long enough, where he can earn himself his own spot on the wall in the back of the arena, which is pretty cool. He talks to Dolph and Tyler Breeze about the GoPro idea. They're not really sold on it. All Dolph has to say is, what did Maurice say? And then Miz says, she said no. And then Dolph goes, case closed. So, obviously, if the wife doesn't want it to happen, then it's probably not going to happen. Meanwhile, Maurice tries to takes her mom out. She tries to talk her out of being in the delivery room, so she butters her up, gets her a fucking new purse and all this other shit. She breaks the news to her, not even like asking her, but like, listen, in a nice fashion, not really being mean at all, but she's like, listen, it's only going to be me and my husband. I only really want me and Miz to be there, not you. We're going to have you stay home, and then you can come and see the baby tomorrow. And she's like pretty silent at first, but then she ultimately comes around to saying, all I want is for you to be happy, Maurice. If you want me to stay home, that's fine, and they get over it and move on. And then she's okay with being home and not being there for the baby being born in the delivery room. Anyway, Miz, after Raw, takes his family to a bar, gets recognized by people, takes lots of pictures, signs lots of autographs. And this is where Miz says that his dad doesn't really tell him a lot that he's proud of him, but when his dad also tells other people, like, my son's the Miz, he kind of shows that he's proud by telling other people who his son is. So Miz recognizes that, even though he doesn't really get that recognition from his dad that he's always really wanted. Anyway, Miz and Maurice meet up again. Miz gets Maurice a ring with their baby daughter's name on the inside, which makes Maurice come to tears. She starts crying, and she loves it. Again, we don't find out what the name is by this point. We find out at the very end of the episode, so more on that momentarily. Anyway, so they go to the doctor's office, after Maurice finds out that there's something wrong with her. And once they find out that her water broke right then and there, that the baby has to be born right then and there. They're not waiting another 4 days as originally scheduled. The baby's being born right fucking now. So, Maurice apparently had mac and cheese earlier on that day, of course not knowing that she was going to be giving birth that same day. So they have to wait 8 hours to have the baby, apparently for the food to be digested or whatever. Miz films a video for the baby right before it's born, just talking about how proud of her he is, how I'm always going to be there for you, how I love you and I haven't even met you yet, all this other really sappy stuff that he got on film so he can show his daughter, of course, later on in life. So he films that video, and then the baby is born, no complications, and the name they go with is Monroe Sky Mizanin. So, of course, their last name and the first name / middle name is Monroe Sky. So she joins the world, and Miz confirms that, people always say that having a kid is the best thing to ever happen to you, that it's going to change your life. And he confirms that it is indeed life-changing. And Maurice also says that it's the best thing to have ever happened to her. And that's what we end the episode. A very, very positive close to a very enjoyable episode, once again, of Miz and Mrs. So, again, like I said, the show started out very hokey, very stupid, with the whole fucking nude photo shoot shit. But since then, it's really picked up. Love the chemistry that Miz, Maurice have, as well as Marjo, Miz's dad, and everyone else. Now that Monroe Sky's in the picture, which is really, really cool. So things should only pick up from here. I'm not really sure how many episodes are left. I think 2. This was episode 4. I think they only... they were only intending on doing 6 episodes this season. They did announce this past week on SmackDown that the show is renewed for a 2nd season, which is not surprising. I guess the ratings are really, really good. So the show will be around for a 2nd season, and I think that's set to premiere in 2019. But yeah, I think this season wraps up in 2 weeks. So until then, though, you guys can check out my reviews of the show right here on the channel every Friday right here on WWE Network and Chill. You can support the show by liking the video, dropping a comment, sharing the video, and subscribing to the channel for more content. That being said, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.